Amazing. I couldn't be happier with this company.
We absolutely love these cages.
One at a time, okay, guys?
Homesteading is a lifestyle choice. Whether you have a large or small space, you can move towards self-sufficiency. Start with what you need and add more as you can. Start small and grow in confidence. Start with the basics and increase your knowledge. At Bryant's Roost, we believe in sustainability, education, and forward momentum. Follow us on our journey for tips, hacks, and insights. We can grow together.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to another Coturnix Corners Morning Musings. Hope everyone is doing well. This, guys, is going to be a short live stream. I've got some running around that I've got to get done this morning, but I wanted to get in here because I do have a few announcements that I want to make regarding what's going on or what's coming up. I'm kind of excited about it, so I wanted to get in here and let you guys know. First off, shout out to our sponsors. Go for Ridge Quail Farm, run by HP Murray out of Southern Georgia. At least I believe it's Southern Georgia. HP does a lot for the channel. He donates hatching eggs, these containers, the egg cartons, and the collection trays. I call those blue things collection trays. But HP is really great. Great birds, great lines, fast shipping. So if you guys are wanting to get into the giveaway today, go ahead and comment go for Ridge, and I will put you down or we'll select from that batch of comments for the winner. Also, shout out to Hatching Time. They donate a $50 gift certificate to give away for you guys to use on their website. So check out both their websites. Go for Ridge is goforridgequail.com and Hatching Time is hatchingtime.com. Check them out, and yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, let's see. Let me remove that. If you guys see that, well, I'm not going to announce it right yet, but I did do a new video. I released it on the channel early last week, I believe it was. It's on setting shipped eggs. I got in a shipment of hatching eggs from HP, and so I thought, let me go ahead and do a real quick video. I'm trying to get the channel content picked back up again. That way, as these live streams grow, we've got the viewership, I guess you would say, for the live streams. Let's see. The thing that we talked about it here last week on the Morning Musings, was going live on Tuesday evenings again. For a while there, I got really busy and I just didn't have the time to do the Tuesday evening live streams. So we shifted over to Sunday morning. And I was having, some issues back then getting guests to come on the show. I don't like doing the Tuesday lives with just me. I mean, nobody wants to listen to what I have to say. So I try to get live streams or a guest for the live stream, that they can share with you, their setup and you can ask them questions, on how they run their farm. So that's what we're going to do, guys. We decided to go ahead and reinstate the Tuesday evening live streams at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only thing is if I can't find a guest or I don't have a guest scheduled for Tuesday, I'm not going to do the lives. So basically what you'll have to do is either watch the Facebook group or the Coturnix Corner community, and we'll post it on there. I'm going to try to get a schedule put together with all the guests that have, decided they wanted to come on the show, and the dates that they're coming on. So if there's anybody here in the house right now, I don't know how many people we got, not a ton, but if there's anybody here in the house, that keep quail, raise quail, whether it's, for personal use or you're doing it commercially, or even just local, you're selling hatching eggs or eating eggs, whatever, and you'd be interested in coming on the live stream, talking a little bit about your setup, take some pictures and or videos. We can show them here on the channel, and then take questions. I think it's interesting because, everybody does things a little bit different than the way I do it or the way HP does it, or, whoever else. So it's neat to kind of, find out what everybody else is doing. A couple weeks ago when I was up in Michigan, we had my brother-in-law on. He runs West Michigan Quail. And I've actually watched that live stream twice since we went live, just because it was so interesting. And it was neat to see how, Maury was explaining what he's got, and he was, taking questions and whatnot. So if you would be interested, contact me. You can email me at terry@coturnixcorner.com. You can contact me over on Messenger on Facebook or through the Messenger on the Coturnix Corner community. And we'll get you set up, at least talk about it and figure out, what you want to do and what's required and whatnot. So, okay. I was going to go live this Tuesday to kind of talk about it and let people know what was going on. But I ran into an issue, guys. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but this is a smartphone repair kit. And I used it to tear apart a camera of mine that had I don't know if it was a lens motor failure or something. It wouldn't focus. The LCD screen just went blank, and I don't know why. So I got in there and started working on it, and this is about the only good part that I've got left. So that went in the trash. And I got a battery. So that went in the trash. Looks like I'm going to have to purchase another camera for the live streams. The one I'm using now, I normally don't use it as a live stream camera. I actually use it as a filming camera for filming videos for the channel. So anyhow, let's see what else. For those of you who didn't know, I did say that I did a video where I set some hatching eggs. I'm actually getting back into quail again. I got some lines from HP that I want to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the base colors. None of the fancy, modifiers or, pattern modifiers or dilutes. I'm just going to go back to the base colors. And the main reason for that is, guys, go online and try to find base colors. I don't know what my dogs are barking at, but they're going nuts. Trying to find just clean base colors, it's almost impossible. Everything seems to have been mixed with something else. So a few of us have been talking about putting together, a small collection of birds that we're going to try to clean up. Clean Pharaohs, clean Italians or fawn, clean EB lines. Stuff that when newcomers get into it, and they hatch out eggs. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of times you'll see like posts on Facebook or whatnot saying or showing a picture, and it'll say, I ordered this and this is what hatched out, and they've got like 4 or 5 different varieties in there. A lot of people are really surprised and they don't understand why they're getting those varieties. So if we get back to the basics to where we've got, clean fawn lines, clean EB, which is extended brown, and clean farrow lines, you're going to know what you're going to hatch. So that's the whole point behind that. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And I hope more people get interested in it, because it's really, beneficial to the newbies, because they don't have a whole lot of genetics experience or understanding, if I breed this with this, I have a possibility of getting this, this, and that. So I think getting back to the basics is really going to, benefit a lot of people. And even experienced breeders that have been around for a while, trying to find clean lines, guys, it's getting pretty tricky right now. So let's see what other thing. But anyhow, I'm getting back into quail. I've got eggs in the incubator right now, and as soon as they hatch out, I'm going to be doing some sorting, putting some breeding groups together, and start building some new cages outdoors, hutches, I guess you would call them. I'm not doing any quail inside again like I had before. I'm going to use my aviary out back as a grow out pen, and then I will use the hutches. I'm going to try to set them up kind of like breeding hutches. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do that, but I don't know. We'll figure it out, and I'm actually going to document all that. There'll be videos, on building the cages and all that kind of nonsense. So, what else? Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right behind me is a Barato Real 49 incubator. It's basically brand new, guys. I hardly ever use it. Sitting on top of it is the humidity pump that goes with it. I believe it's a Serio humidity pump. I don't need this incubator anymore. So what I was thinking of doing, if there's anybody local in Fort Myers area or Southwest Florida area that is looking to get a decent incubator, Baratos are really good incubators. I had two. I had the Real 49 and the Lumia 16. But the 49 I really don't need anymore. I've got a Hatching Time cabinet incubator, and then I have two of the DIY boxes that I use like 90% of the time. So if anybody would be interested in this Real 49, contact me, through either messenger, email, or whatever. I'm going to give you, whoever buys it, a really good deal on it, like half the cost of what it is new. But yeah, it's a really good incubator. It comes with a turner. Well, it comes with everything that you get if you were to purchase it new, plus the Serial water pump. All right. I think that's about it, guys. I'm just going to real briefly go through the questions because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time in the chat room, just because, like I say, I've got running around to do. My wife got a few places I got to take her. So let me just run through it real quick. Backcountry's in the house. Good morning, Quail family from Tampa, Florida. Tater Farms joining us. Says good morning, everyone. Great to see you from Central Georgia. Oh, and then a whole bunch of good mornings. Hannah Bishop, Gina Klatt, Jerry Schultz is in the house. Says, I'm here from Eastern Washington State, bright and early. Glad you could join us. Samantha Stratton is joining us from Michigan. April says good morning from Iowa. Homestead Matters says good morning from Eugene, Oregon. I hope everyone is doing well. Same to you. Savage Daughter Farms in the house says good morning. Gina Klatt says thank you, sponsors. Absolutely. That's one of the main reasons that I really do the live streams. Or actually, not main reason I do the live streams, but main reason that I have sponsors on the channel is because I believe, it benefits you guys to be able, to have the giveaways and give away nice stuff. Especially the hatching eggs. I mean, you guys are getting decent hatching eggs. So, Andy Rabbit's in the house says, good morning, Savage Daughter Farm. Okay, I'm not going to read all these Gopher Ridge, but I will come back and select someone. Actually, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to give away a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. We're going to give away a 30 count of Gopher Ridge hatching eggs. We're also going to give away, let me pull that image up real quick. The top center picture, which is the jumbo egg cartons, we're going to give away some of those. Or would you guys rather have the cardboard cartons? Comment over there, plastic or cardboard. I don't know. It's not really called cardboard. It's pressed cardboard or whatever. But we're going to give away that. So there'll be 3 winners today. Let me write it down so I don't forget. And we will select the winners out of the people that comment Go for Ridge over in the chat room. David DeBarge is in the house. Says good morning from West Plains, Missouri. Glad you could join us. Tater Farm says Go for Ridge. HP is awesome. He is. HP is probably the kindest man I've met in a long time. I've talked with him, several times on the phone, and he wants to do a lot for the channel. And he's giving great deals, guys, on his hatching eggs over on Facebook. You can join his quail auction. I don't know if I believe it's an auction. Get great deals. And I always see HP posting like, 150 eggs for X amount of dollars or something like that. So get a really good deal if you, get hooked up with Go for Ridge. April says, I'm currently working my way through the beginner series. Great info. Thank you. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. I'm going to try to not limit, but make these few videos that I upload to the channel between now and whenever geared more towards entry-level quail keeping. Basically because I think most of the viewers on the channel are newbies. They're looking for information. Yeah, there's a lot of people that want information on genetics and some more advanced topics, but I think for the most part, most of the people are geared toward the newbie stuff. So that's what we're going to target. Basically, because I'm starting all over again with my quail setup, it's a perfect opportunity for me to take a step back and offer beginner topics again. So and again, I got that stupid, I swear to God, it's got to be from the coffee that I'm drinking, because it's always after I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, I get this little bit of phlegm in the back of my throat. It takes a while to cough that up, but I don't know. Let's see. Fat Country says, how do you like the new software for the show? I do like it. It does pretty much everything that my previous paid software would do. The only thing is, in the upper right hand corner, we got that little StreamYard logo, but I mean, I don't care. That's no big deal. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm not going to pay. I was paying, quite a bit for that software that I was using for the past few years. And I just couldn't see paying it anymore, especially for the amount of live streams that I was doing and the amount of viewers that were actually in the live streams. Tater Farm says, very informative video, Terry. Great reference to watch back. Okay, great. David DeBar says, we all listen to what you have to say, my friend. Well, I don't know. Some people listen and some people complain about it, but take what you can from it. If it's informative and you can use it, fine. If not, there's tons of other info out there. Savage Daughter Farm says, yay, Tuesdays are back. Yeah, I've had a lot of people, believe it or not, reaching out to me saying, when are you going to bring the Tuesday evening live streams back, because they are not available for the Sunday morning live. So that's another good reason that we're doing it. Mark's in the house says, good morning, everyone from New Hampshire. Backcountry says, our eggs from HP Murray are delivered by UPS and we receive them the next day. Yeah, I think HP shipped mine on Monday and I got them Wednesday morning. And it was funny too, because I went to the post office to drop off. Oh, I had some incubators. No, it wasn't incubators. It was tumblers going out. And I went to the post office, and normally I just drop the packages in the little bins that they got. But for some reason, well, there was nobody there. That's why. I went up to the counter, and I just happened to mention that I had some eggs coming and to let my mail guy know. And they said they're here. I'm like, wow, that was quick. So yes, HP has very fast shipping. Oh no, at least you get a battery backup. I don't know if you're talking to me about that or not. Savage Daughter Farm says, back to the basics. Yeah, sometimes you just got to step back, and do things the basic way. Kind of like with my bees. When I first got started with bees, I was watching all kinds of videos, all these, I won't say professional, but commercial beekeepers and this and that, people that have had bees forever. And everybody's talking about, different types of hive bodies, different ways of keeping your bees, all the medications and stuff you got to give them, this and that, feeding your bees. Well, this year, the beginning of this year, I went out and I caught 4 swarms, wild swarms, and I haven't done a thing to them yet. I put them in a box and I let them build comb the way they want. I let them do whatever they're doing, and they're doing fine. I don't treat them, and they're doing great. So, I mean, the bees know what they want. So, who am I to tell them, Tater Farm says, woohoo, welcome back, Terry. Absolutely. Homestead Matters. I love the back to the basics ideas. As a newbie, it is so difficult when you try to use reference photos. Yep. April says, yes, this would help the newbies. David Barr says, Terry, blown away that you took the time to call me yesterday and give me advice on the issue I had. Not a problem, David. For those of you, what Dave was talking about, he built a DIY incubator and had just a few issues. No big deal. But if you guys purchase an incubator, or if you build an incubator off the channel, without buying the kit, feel free at any time to reach out to me. I have no problems, calling you back, or whether it's, through text or emails, but I have no problem calling you back and, trying to work out whatever issues you might have. See, Mike says, have you ever done blue scale quail? Boy, say that fast. Blue scale quail. No, I have not. Corgolian says, looks like a nice one. Whoever gets it will be happy. Oh, talking about the incubator. Yeah, Baratos are really nice incubators. And I'm not getting rid of it because I'm unhappy with it. I'm just getting rid of it because I don't need it. I've got 4 cabinet incubators sitting in there and another small tabletop incubator. I really don't need that many incubators. Let's see. Fat Country said, we were always shocked when we hatched pharaohs and we ended up with dotted whites. Yeah, there's a lot of lines, believe it or not, have that recessive white, in them. A lot of pharaoh lines. I've got it from multiple breeders, where I ordered 60 or 120 eggs, whatever, and hatched them out, and you get that oddball white one. So yeah, the genes are mixed. We got to work on getting everything straightened out. Recessive is the hardest. I mean, because recessive can hide and then just out of the blue just pop up again. So Hannah says, when will the pre-cut boxes be available again? Are you talking about the hatching trays, Hannah? I'll probably have them back on the website next week, if that's what you're talking about. Tater Farm says, sure wish I was local. I would love to get a good incubator to replace my nurture right. Yeah, and I really don't want to ship it just because it's so large. I don't have the original box. If I had the box, I would, but I don't even think I have a box big enough to fit it in. Actually, I'm going to check that out today, because I do have the boxes that I ship the incubator kits in. If it'll fit in one of them boxes, maybe if somebody wants to cover shipping, I'll go ahead and ship it for them. I'm a little leery about shipping something like that because I don't have the right packaging, and I would hate to have, you buy an incubator and it get damaged en route. That's something like that I couldn't replace. If it was a DIY box and it got damaged, yeah, I can replace that. But I'm not going to go out and buy another brand new Real 49 just because it got damaged in shipping. Fat Country says, hit the like button. Yeah, do that, guys. Hit the like button. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit it. I think I already did hit it. Yeah, we got a few likes in there. That's cool. Samantha Stratton says, Gopher Ridge hatching eggs, please. I guess I don't need to put those up there. April says, either carton would be great. Tater Farm says, would love the brown cartons. Yeah, that's the one thing that we haven't given away yet. We've given away why do I still have that picture up? We've given away the blue cartons, the clear plastic, but we haven't given away the cardboard ones or the brown ones, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, maybe we'll make it that. Let me write that down. Okay, Mike Garrett's in the house, or Garris is in the house. Andy Rabbit says, Fat Country, it's always annoying to me when I hatch dotted white from ferals. Yep, I know. And that's funny because that's, I won't say really common. It happens, a lot. But those recessive genes, we got to breed them out. And it's actually me and a few other people are kind of working on the side to get this stuff straightened out if we can. But, my only issue is I don't have a lot of room because I've got to do outside cages now or outside hutches. So I'm not going to be able to hatch in the same capacity that I did when I kept all my birds inside. But that it might slow me down a little bit, but I'm still gonna work on it. Savage Daughter Farm says, okay, this is a good point. Cardboard, I believe, is the standard side. Plastic are the jumbos. Yeah, I know that those are jumbos plastic, because he told me that they were. Some of my eggs don't fit in the cardboard ones, but I do prefer them. Brenna says, good morning from Missouri. I've been out of the quail scene for a couple years due to health reasons, but I'm back and ready to get back into quail. Cool. Glad you're getting back in and glad you got over your health issues. Child of God says, I could actually any one of the three. I don't know much about Gopher Ridge. Have to look them up. April says, looking forward to more newbie info. Child of God said had a question but can't remember it. Old age. Well, join the club. I do that all the time. That's why I write things down now, just so I don't forget. Van Garcia says, can we join StreamYard? Yes. As a guest on the channel, you can. What I do is I send out links to the show, and basically you click on the link and you follow the instructions real easy. Give your give StreamYard permission to use your camera and your microphone, and you're in. Very easy. Savage Daughter Farm says the ACBA has some great info and resources for those starting out or getting back into it. I'm the only member listed in Missouri. I'd love to see more of us. Really? Only one member in Missouri? Crazy. Homestead Matters. These videos have been instrumental in our quail journey, and I can't tell you how many hours Coturnix Corner videos have been on autoplay here. We appreciate all the folks who contribute. Thank you so much. Yeah, and especially the live streams. Guys, if you go through the live streams, just read through them. I try to put a title on them to give you an idea of what the content is, but there is so much information on those live streams where I've had guests come on. I mean, we've had like Dana Manchester, Michael Rose, who else? Martin Yardley, Allie. I mean, just so many people that came on there and shared a wealth of information, and we've got it, in the live stream. Yeah, it's kind of a pain watching an hour-long live stream, but you can kind of, a lot of times what I'll do if I'm watching a video and it's a long one and I've got to get the information, I'll speed it up. I'll put it on like, 150%. Yeah, they sound funny when they're talking, but you get your information a lot quicker. Let's see, where are we at? Child of God says, question, recently found have some type of feed beetle bug in my bin. I think it may have come in a cheap bag of feed. Birds love them, but destroy the feed. How do I eradicate it before put the new feed in the bin? I don't know what kind of a bin you're using. If it's like a wooden bin, it might be a little bit tricky. You may have to get some permethrin and mix. You can buy 10% permethrin and mix it at like, I think it's 0.10%, which it's got a little measuring cup on the top of the permethrin, and saturate that wood if it is wood, and that will kill anything that's inside it. Just let it air out for a couple days before you put any fresh feed in it. I put my feed in plastic garbage cans, and I have got feed before that had some little wiggly bugs in it. I don't know what they were. I basically dumped that feed and hose the can out and put fresh feed in it, and I haven't had any problems since then. But yeah, if like I say, if your bin is anything other than plastic, anything that's porous to where the bugs could, hide in crevices or whatnot, or lay eggs in crevices, whatever, I would definitely permethrin treat it just to kill anything before you add, new feed to it. Oh, okay, Hannah, hold on. Hannah, you're gonna kill me, but I forgot what you said incubator kits. Will the pre-cut boxes be available again? Are you talking the incubator kit themselves? They're already on the website. I put them on a few days ago. But the hatching trays, they're not on the website, but they will be soon. Wish we could use the gift certificate on Hatching Time's Amazon site. Can use 12-month payment without interest with Prime Card. You know what you might be able to do? You might be able to order it on Amazon and then call them. Call Bill. What's Bill's last name? Anyhow, call Bill over at Hatching Time, and he can probably apply that to Bill Ryder, Ryder. He can probably apply the gift certificate to your order. I'm not going to say 100% for sure, but if you make the order, get the order number and everything, call Bill and let him know and say, hey, I got a gift certificate. Can we apply it? And he might be able to do it for you. Torgolian says, I'm going to be using your DIY water system video again here soon for my coots, as it's just been annoyingly hot to work outside right now. Tell me about it. That's why I haven't been out building cages. It's just, well, one, we're in the middle of rainy season, but two, it's so warm out there. I mean, you work for 10 minutes and you're drenched, and I want to film all this stuff. So yeah, I got to wait for it to kind of cool down a little bit. David Bullock's in the house, says better late than never. Hello all. Savage Daughter Farm says Dotted White seems to get into everything and it's so hard to get out. Yeah, that and Sex Link Brown. And that exactly what we are planning on working on. Homestead Matters says, isn't Rebecca Lynch working on Clean Pharaohs? I heard she was. I don't think she's released anything yet. I don't know, but the last time I talked to her, she was working on Clean Pharaohs. And matter of fact, she posted a picture, and it was of a roux, and it looked pretty nice. But I suspect that roux still had Sex Link Brown in it, and that's why I commented on the picture. I said I would like to see it. I believe it was a younger rooster. I said I would like to see it after the thing molts, to see if any of that Sex Link Brown comes out. I worked on Sex Link Brown for just over a year, about a year and 2 or 3 months, and it is hard to get rid of, guys. I mean, it's real hard. Let's see. Fred says, Fred and Sally in the house, North Carolina. Glad you could join us. Fred also says, people in my area only want the Celadons, not my jumbo whites. Bob right there at Fred. Why do they want Celadons? I mean, basically, it's the exact same bird. They're just laying a blue egg. My opinion on celadons is, and I know this is controversial, I've heard a lot about it, over the past few years, that celadon, they actually have a lot of issues in the celadon lines, whether it's, health issues or genetic issues that pop up now and then. There's a video on the channel that Klaus Marshall did. It's a live stream on celadons, and he put together a really good live stream, and he got, I won't say chastised for it, but there was, quite a few people that were coming at him saying, you don't know what you're talking about. But now, and this is a couple years later, now, people like Michael Rose and Rebecca and a few other people are saying, yeah, we've worked on the celadon line and we've bred out all those issues. Well, guess what? If you've got to breed out an issue, there was an issue. So yeah, I mean, I don't mess with celadons. To me, it's just an egg color. It doesn't mean a thing. And I don't know why anybody would really want, in your area would want just the celadons and not the jumbos. I don't. Elizabeth says, I have my first molt on my hands. How can I help my birds through it? And how long does it last? A couple weeks. Just keep them going like you have been. What I would do is, this was out in my aviary. If my birds went into a heavy molt, I would just bump the protein up a little bit. A lot of times I would just mix starter feed in with the layer feed. Or not the protein, the calcium, I'm sorry. I would bump up the calcium levels to help them with their feather regeneration. You could also add a vitamin electrolyte solution to their water. That'll kind of help. But yeah, I mean, it's a natural thing for them to molt, so I wouldn't really, sweat it. But within a couple weeks, they'll be done. Cam says, my feed and seeds goes into 5-gallon buckets with lids. Child of God says, got the bin sitting out in the sun now. Let's see. Okay, Savage Daughter Farm, talking to Elizabeth, says, go for a little bit higher protein for about 2 weeks, add some mealworms, quail love them, and the feathers will come back in fantastic. There you go. I had some black soldier fly larvae that company sent me. I can't remember the name of the company right off the top of my head. And I started feeding those to my chickens, but I noticed that the eggs got a really fishy, kind of nasty smell to them. So I stopped feeding that. And I really don't know that the black soldier fly larva caused that, but it was definitely, noticeable in the eggs. So I stopped feeding them that. But yeah, I guess, bump the protein up like Elizabeth or like Savage Daughter Farm says. And calcium helps too. Let's see. Hannah says, okay, they were out when I checked a couple days ago. I'll check again. That is about. David says, how high is your octane? How high octane is your coffee this morning? Believe it or not, guys, I drink decaffeinated. I haven't had caffeine in, I can't even tell you how many years. I drank so much caffeine when I was younger. I used to drive over the road, and I mean, pots of coffee a day. And when I actually quit caffeine, I had these headaches like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I couldn't sleep. They were so bad. So yeah, I gave up everything to do with caffeine, and I just drink. It's funny too, because I still have the craving for coffee in the morning, I guess because of the taste, but I just don't deal with the caffeine anymore. YouTube user says, good morning from Western Oregon. This is Joy Guthrie. Got a new phone. How do I fix being invisible? I don't know. You're going to have to log into your account for one, so it just doesn't say YouTube user, and then maybe upload a profile image if you don't already have one there. Data Farm says, I retrofit my J feeders using your recommendations in your no waste feeder video, saving money as we speak. Thank you. A lot of people are using that, and not only, I mean, it wasn't my idea. I got it from somewhere. But yeah, it's like putting those either 1x2 or 1x1 rails over top of the feed makes the bird be a little bit more precise when they're taking that feed, and they don't want to kick it out. Child of God says, rainy season, you have rain. Been ages since I had rain. You're welcome to send some to northern Indiana. Yeah, our summer months, it pretty much rains every day. In the afternoons, it's just a summertime thing. It's hot in the morning and the heat builds up and the rain falls. It gets cool and then it really gets muggy. Yeah, it's miserable. I hate rainy season. William Carl Foster's in the house. So what you got in the incubator? I got that one for sale, William. There's nothing in the Barados. I do have about 120 of HP's German lines in my DIY box right now, waiting for them to hatch out so I can get back into cleaning up some base colors, I guess. Let's see, where am I at here? Not talking to me. David says, I have 7-week-olds. A couple look like they're molting. It's just change of season thing. Surprised the younger ones are molting. Yeah, they go through. I don't know if you noticed, but when you got, maybe it's a lot of bird thing or just in the brooder, they go through a prenatal molt, which is like before they're out of the brooder, they'll start molting, and you'll notice it because there'll be dust and whatnot everywhere. And then, like you say, around 7-8 weeks, they go through what I call a postnatal molt. And that's when they're shedding their baby feathers, and they start getting their adult feathers in. And usually that's when I'll wait till after that molt before I start selecting birds on plumage patterns and whatnot. The prenatal molt is the one I hate the most because they'll be in the brooder probably 3 going on 4 weeks old, and all of a sudden you see all these little bitty baby feathers everywhere, and it drives me nuts. I mean, it makes a mess in the quail room. Savage Daughter Farm says, no caffeine, I think I would die. Try to quit the caffeine once. You think you're going to die with the caffeine? Try quitting it once. Oh my God. I never realized, I didn't notice that I was addicted to caffeine. I just couldn't live without it. I mean, it was part of my daily routine. So, I drank it all the time, and phew, quitting just about killed me. Jerry says, any harvested plant product like feed or even flour can have insect egg. Freezing it should kill any eggs. We should try to keep feed as current as possible for this reason and normal breakdown. I agree with that. Backcountry said, have you started on your new setup yet? And do you have any pictures? No, I haven't started on it's on paper, kind of like chicken scratch drawing. Like it changes every day. I mean, I looked at quite a few outside hutches online. Allie's got some really nice ones, but that's a little bit too nice for me. Slightly Redneck, he's got some decent outside cages, but I think that's more for like just producing eggs and whatnot for him and growing out meat birds and whatnot. I want something that I can be a little bit more selective as far as being able to split birds up. It's basically what I'm trying to come up with is my inside cages, like the wire cages that I built, but for outside use. Originally, I was going to use the wire cages, the wire frame cages, and put them in my aviary, but I want to use the aviary as a grow out pen. So yeah, like I say, it's just a matter of, I guess I got to start building it and adjust it as I go, I guess. Let's see. Came home on Friday to my incubator unplugged. The Govee set for several hours. I thought about tossing them, plugged it back in anyway. Came home from watching the granddaughter's volleyball. Oh, so you don't know what happened yet? Oh, and several hatched anyway. For being fragile, they are quite resilient. Yeah, that's what I was actually telling David DeBarge. He had an issue with one of his turners, and it dumped some eggs, and a few of them cracked, and he had to throw them out. But I said, you'd be surprised at how resilient the quail eggs are. They're very quail, I guess, are resilient. They can take quite a bit and still hatch out. I've done the same thing. Matter of fact, this last batch that I just set, I moved the incubator from out in my shop, which there's no air conditioning or anything out there. I noticed the humidity was riding really high, like about 70% and that's too high for me during the incubation process. So I brought the incubator in the house where it's air conditioned, and I put the egg turner. Well, I took the eggs out of the incubator, brought the incubator in, got it set up, went out, grabbed the eggs in the turner, and brought it in and put that in. But what I did, and I didn't notice it at the time, was I pulled the temperature sensor probe out of the incubator and laid it on top of the box, and I put my thermometers back in there. Anyhow, I went and I was sitting down watching TV, and I glanced over and I noticed that the light wasn't turning off, and I'm like, what's going on here? So I got it and looked, and the temperature was over 105 degrees inside the box. Or 105 degrees is what the Inkbird was reading, but what the Therm Pros were reading was about 101. So I figured out, I forgot to put the sensor back in, and I opened the door just to let it cool down a little bit, and then got it set back up right. But yeah, it's kind of scary, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fine, because the eggs never got over 101. I don't think the eggs got over 99 or over 100, just because it was such a short period of time. Andy Rabbit says the 1x2 wire over a feeder will also help with a rabbit that likes to play in their food. Cool. I never thought of that. Best way to water quail outside in the wintertime. Mark Alley from Maine's Confetti Quail Farm up there in Maine says she gives her quail snow. It's so cold up there, you can fill the water container up and it's frozen within minutes. So she just feeds them snow and do fine. Shelby says, I'd like to hear opinions on fermenting feed if anyone has experience doing it. Is it beneficial for health? Does it reduce feed costs, and how fast does it go rancid or get moldy? I actually did that. I did a video on the channel on fermenting feed for quail. The quail will eat it, yes. And I've always done that for my chickens, and I swear that it helped the chickens. It made their plumage a lot more iridescent, kind of like. So I tried it out on my quail, and the quail ate it. And once they got used to it, they would go after the fermented feed before they would go after their dry feed. But after talking with Jeff Maddox, he's a poultry nutritionist, he said, yeah, they'll eat it, but there really wasn't no benefit to it. And there is the possibility, like you say, if it gets moldy, that, you're feeding your birds bad feed. So if it's something you want to try, go ahead and try it. It's just definitely, I don't think it's going to hurt your birds, especially if you stay on top of the feed. Like what I would do down here, it's really warm. I would mix the feed up in 5-gallon buckets, put my water on, lay a towel over top of the bucket, and then usually in about 2 or 3 days, I could start smelling that unique smell. It's almost like what do they call that bread? I can't even think of the name of that bread. I'll think of it here in a minute. But anyhow, then I would feed it to my birds. The biggest thing for me was keeping the stuff that was in the 5-gallon bucket stirred up. And then when I got it down to, say, a quarter of a bucket left, I would add more feed and water and, brew up the next batch. And I've never had any issues with my chickens or my quail from eating it. Did I notice any difference in my quail? No, not really. But they ate it, and the way I was feeding it to them was in those shoe boxes, the plastic shoe box. I'd cut some holes in the side, like 1 inch or 1.25 inch holes, and they couldn't make a mess with it. They couldn't waste the feed. So yeah, give it a shot. I mean, it's definitely not going to hurt anything. And that name of that bread is going to kill me. I'm still trying to think of it. What do they call that? David says on sex-linked brown removal from farrow, do you have pictures or video on removing the recessive? I'm trying to learn the SLB identification. The only comparator I've found is on Michael's genetics page. That's a good page. Michael does have some decent photos on there. Finding hens without sex-linked brown is relatively easy. The roosters are the one, because I've had roosters that showed very little brown and red, like on their shoulders and the side of their neck. And I would swear, oh, I'm getting close. But then I would separate them, breed them back to hens that didn't show any sign of sex-linked brown. And guess what? Sex-linked brown showed up in the chicks. So I've had a few people tell me that you're not going to get rid of sex-linked brown in the States because everything is carrying sex-linked brown. Whether it can be done, I don't know. Like I say, after a year and a quarter, year and 3 months, I gave up on the project because I wasn't making any headway in it. So. Data Farm says, my daughter whites are going through their postnatal molt and are vicious right now. I know they'll settle back down, though. They're just uncomfortable. Yeah, I guess it's possible. I've never noticed. I've never actually kept whites, so I really don't know. But I don't think I've ever noticed my birds getting any more aggressive when they were in a molt. But yeah, maybe they. My thoughts on dotted whites were they're a solid white bird with a black dot on top of its head. It's a target for everything else. So I don't know. Fat Country says hatch out some American breasts and they have a lot of dandruff real bad. Okay, I didn't know that I had birds that had that. I didn't call it dandruff. I can't remember what we called it, but I'm trying to think. Was it my Rhode Island Reds? Maybe it was my Barter Ox. I don't know. I never really worried about it. It seemed to always resolve itself, whatever it was. David says, Terry, I built 6-foot hutches and put a slide-in divider in the center of the hutch, and it works great. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm so set on my wire cages that I built. The only issues, like I say, you put something like that outside, you're going to have issues with predators. I mean, I normally don't have much with predator problems here. But I know the first thing, if I set a cage out there that's not predator proof, I'm going to get, because we got tons of feral cats in my neighborhood. So I'm sure they're going to come over and want to, mess with my birds. Andy says, Terry, there's always the walls of the aviary to hang cages from and keep the floor cleared. I kind of did think about that. Having the cages, like you say, off the floor, 3 or 4 feet. And then having birds underneath them on the floor. But then I got an issue of the manure buildup. I'm kind of hoping that I can set up my outside cages with compost bins underneath the cages. We got a lot of black soldier fly here, so I can get, the larvae to help with the manure problem. But yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with something eventually. I promise I will. I just don't know what I'm doing yet. Dane says, I'm going to try hanging cages in my aviary so the grow outs on the ground can keep their deep litter stirred up and also take care of any wasted feed that falls from the cages. There you go. Dane's got a good idea there. Cam says, I accidentally scorched brown black my eggshells on the grill. Birdies went nuts over it. Sourdough. Thank you. Everybody. See, talk about getting old. I can't remember words, let alone ideas that I want to do. Thanks, guys. It is sourdough bread. Let's see. David says, I use sourdough starter. I got the fermented feed quicker. Be careful. It needs to be stored below 80 degrees. Fermentation rate changes by temperature. Yeah, I've never had to use any type of starter down here. Like David said, it's temperature. It seems to ferment a lot quicker when it's warmer. Um, but like I say, I would just set, a couple 5-gallon buckets in my shop with the feed, and I was fermenting crumbles. I wasn't fermenting like a grain feed. It was just crumbles, and yeah, it worked fine. Let's see. Any rabbit for freezing weather? Don't worry about quail. Will peck ice from a bowl. Give them fresh water a few times a day. Small watt, like 75-watt heat lamp over the water dish, and sit on top of the cage. There you go. Good idea. Never had to worry about that where I'm at. Stabber's Daughter Farm, watching and breaking down my tent from a festival is hard. Let's see, child of God, I have 3 wires in my aviary. Hens, the other birds tend to leave them. 3 wires. Roosters don't even bother them much. I'm kind of lost, child of God, what you're saying there. I guess I can't figure out what wire is supposed to be. Speaking of Allie's, Confetti Quail says, good morning, Terry and Quail friends. Glad you could join us, Allie. We were just talking about you behind your back. So, glad you're here. Shelby says, I wanted to give you an update on the frilly hens I told you back a while back. One developed toes that stick straight up, and her eggshells are not good. She will be culled. Okay. Yeah, I know there were a few people for a while there working on different feather mutations. I don't really recall where they went with it, but I know that there were some people working on it, and I think I saw some posts recently. Who posted that? Oh, Bree posted a picture that had like different feather mutations on them. I thought some of them were kind of strange looking, but yeah, I guess just like the chicken world, people want to come up with the newest, greatest thing. Allie, we were just talking about breeding groups, setting up breeding groups of birds for getting back to the basics, getting base colors that we can clean up, Pharaoh, Fawn, EB, and you would be another good one to do one of your Facebook videos on that, what all's entailed, in trying to clean up a line. I know a lot of people would like to hear that. So if you're up to it, or if you want to do a video, we'll post it here on the channel. I know a lot of people would get, some great info from it. All right, where are we at? Okay, we're down to the bottom of the list, and it is what time? Oh, wow, it's 10 o'clock already. I'm late. Always running late. All right, I'm going to go ahead and select the winners for our giveaway. Let me get back up here. See, the one thing I like about using the StreamYard is I don't lose any of the comments. If I'm trying to follow you guys on my laptop in the chat room, if I don't scroll back up to the comments every once in a while, they seems to drop out. I don't know why. But yeah. Andy Rabbit says she is pretty smart. Yeah, I think so too. I don't tell her very often because I don't want her to get a big head or anything. Okay, where are we? So many people want Gopher Ridge stuff. I'm trying to find some names that we haven't given eggs to lately, basically because we've given away so many eggs. A lot of people have got them, I guess I'm gonna have to go back up and start running through. All right, April You're going to get April Denkman. You're going to get the brown cartons. Let's see. Child of God, you're going to get a $50 gift certificate. And for those of you who I call your names, I need you to send me your shipping information to Terry at coturnixcorner.com. Let me put that in here. Make sure, obviously, a good address, but I also need a good phone number and a good email address. And I will forward that on to our sponsors, and they will get your stuff out right away. Let's see. Samantha, I know it's been a while for you. Samantha Stratton, you're going to get some hatching eggs. So there's our three winners. Egg cartons, April Denkman. Hatching eggs, Samantha Stratton. Child of God's getting a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. All right, let me get back down to the bottom of the chat here and see. Ray says, started supplemental lighting last night and noticed a hen that was pretty bloody on the head eye area today. Think there's a correlation. How to stop? Extended light. I mean, if it was extended light for a long time, I would say, yeah, it's possible. But I don't think just by turning it on cause it. It's most likely that you've got an aggressive bird in there that was attacking that bird. And if you have one aggressive bird and like they draw blood, it seems to get all the other birds riled up and wanting to do the same thing. So you're going to have to watch them and find out who the aggressor is and pull that bird out. I usually cull anything that shows any sign of aggression. A lot of people have issues, like I said, with the dotted whites. They got that white dot on their head, the bird's solid white, and that white dot is just a target for the other birds. So let's see. Yeah, but anyhow, call out any aggressors. Like I say, if you just started the supplemental lighting, I doubt that was it. I keep supplemental lighting on my birds year round, 16 hours a day, and never have any, never have any issues with aggression as long as I keep the aggressors called out. And I see Allie says, yes, definitely get back to the basics over here. Happy to help however I can. Okay, you go ahead, Allie, and do the video on your channel, and then we will go ahead and send me a copy of it, and I'll upload it here into your playlist of stuff on Coturnix Corner. So, all right, we're down to the bottom of the list. Let's see. David says, you didn't say how much you were selling the Barado for. And that's basically because it's going to be less than half price. But to be honest with you, I have to go on the website and find out how much they are. I'm going to throw in the water pump, the humidity pump for nothing. And first thing I'm going to do is see if I can't box it up and ship it if somebody wants it shipped. But if it's shipped, I'm not going to guarantee anything. If you come here and pick it up, I'll guarantee that it works. Okay, that brings us down to the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one. Again, on the Tuesday live, guys, I don't know if I'm going to make it this week just because of the issue with the camera. I might try to do it with this camera, but I might want to see if I can't find a guest first. To me, there's no real sense in doing another live stream without a guest. So that's the whole thing with the Tuesday live streams. It's going to be for guests. That target might be why they are more irritable. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I have to go do some running around now with my wife. But thanks for joining me. And I'll post something over on Facebook and on Coturnixcorner.com about Tuesday. Either way, if we're going to go live or not. So everyone have a great weekend and a great week. And we'll see you either Tuesday or next week, Sunday. Bye.